Wait, where did Will go? Okay. What is up, everyone? How are you all doing today? I apologize for being a bit late today. It's hope you're all having a wonderful day. It is Wednesday. Wednesday means D&D. Yes, Will is the cat. No, in Discord, Will's yeah, in Discord, Will is a cat. Anyway, sorry about that. We have a guest today. Uh, there is no think about this, Mama. There is no think. He is afraid of you. Most likely. Yeah, it doesn't. But I'm just so I just went live a little bit ago. Don't worry, y'all are muted. But just so you can hear, guys, we have a special guest today. We have Mama Kaibal, who is we have the mother of Russ. We have the mother of Saronis playing the mother of Saronis. I am and Kamari. Sorry, Mama. But yeah, we have a special guest today. Saronis is getting married today. Hooray! Saronis and Ravelin are getting married today. So yay. And Mama Kaibal is showing up. Just so we can get everything out of the way real quick. This game is brought to you by Gemhammer and Sons Gaming. You can pick up anything in their store. They have decks. They got decks. They got shirts. They got dice. They got one shots. They got campaigns. They got all sorts of things. We have all sorts of things. And you can save 10% on everything in the store by using my code SCARSUP. SCARVESUP. That is, once again, that is SCARSUP at gemhammer.com/shop. The game will be on Roll20. The voice is on Discord. Any sound you hear, any music you hear, will be from Roll20. Maybe a little bit of YouTube. Yeah. We're waiting on three players and the DM. I know they are, but I'm just saying we're waiting on three players and the DM. Mic check, Will. No dice. Wait. Mama, don't worry about it. Don't you dare worry about it. You have we said it before. We'll say it again, and we'll say it as many times as need. Real life comes first. Here we hear you, Will. Well, if he wants, it, yeah. It is a yeah. Yeah. You have more than 1 frame per second, Will. No, he just turned off. He just turned off his camera. Um. But there's only 8 certified female blacksmiths in the U.S. Huh. Is do you So when you say certified female blacksmith, is that an ABS certification or? Oh, I like again. Say what you will about Fortune Fire, you can see the heartbreak when they see their knife smash due to whatever. They do. Question if I may, are aside from Fortune Fire doing it like being a TV show and whatnot, are the principal sound that they do like the blacksmith, like you can say no if you want. You can just have a 1 word answer no and yeah, no reasonable blacksmith would have that time frame, but the exactly no, but like the actual smithing in and of itself. Oh. Very fair. Yeah, no, that I understand. No, but I also watched a show on YouTube called Man at Arms Reforged. So I did. So I honest like I I personally really like it, and they it's as like cop shows are to cops. Huh. Fair enough. Because yeah. Um, like, like the show or the movie? Okay. Well, no, there was a show called Oz. Oh yeah, the exploited guy. Yeah. I re all wing. If I may, all wings report in. Oh, we are missing Russ. That my apologies, and I do apologize to the stream. Hey Jackie. Well, I'm just letting the stream know because I usually try to start around. We usually try to start around now. Yeah. Mama or yeah, Mama or Mama or Kamari, can you text? Mama. Fair enough. No, you're not wrong. But something my mom did. That there is that. Mm. 140? Yeah, no. Uh, ah, I remember. Dang, I remember a few years ago I was going out on some chores with my mom, and we after we did the chores, the errands, the car started to act funny. The radio would fade in and out. The lights on the dash would fade in and out, and we had no idea what was going on. And then all of us knew, even worse than that. It was the alternator. Yeah. Anyways, and so we were about maybe a mile and a half, we were about 3 miles from home when we finally hit a red light, and then the car just died. We couldn't even get into neutral. It was stuck in park. It was stuck in drive, and we couldn't even get into neutral to move it. Um, like some guys, like when it first conked out, some guys came by and tried to help us move the car, but we couldn't. And it was near a kind of busy intersection too. So we did the responsible thing. We called AAA. We called the tow company. Be like, hey, we're stuck at blah blah blah. We need a tow. We have no idea what happened to the car. Yada 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 yada. After about 20 minutes went by, there was nothing, and there's a diner across the street that we liked, and so like, you want to go get lunch and leave a note here, and so we did. So we went to get lunch. We left an auto window and everything. We went to get lunch, and we took a window, and we specifically asked for a window seat so we could keep an eye on the car. We ordered lunch, we ate lunch, we paid the check, and Still nothing. And about 10 minutes after we got back to the car from lunch, a cop came by. He's like, "Hey, what's going on here? Our car died. Did you call someone about it?" "No, we're idiots." "Yes, we called someone about it." "Who did you call?" "We called blah blah blah." "Can you call them back?" Okay. And so we did, and he's like, and he held out his hand. "May I?" Yep. And so he gave him the phone, and he's like, "This is Officer blah blah, of the blah blah police department. Yeah, we have a car stalled at intersection X. We need a tow right now." I swear to you, it took 2 minutes before. It was only 2 minutes later that a tow truck came rumbling down the street, and the cop was kind enough to give us a ride to the shop. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Perfect place to break down. Oh no. With semis. I mean, the quarter mile parade. Could be worse. I remember I was going to a game, and I was riding through Boston on 95 in the middle lane. In the middle lane, someone broke down. Someone broke down in the middle of Boston on 95 in the middle lane. I can't. Yeah, actually, it was. Huh? No, it wasn't 10 years ago. It was 3 years ago, but it was near enough rush hour. Yeah, it was about actually it was about 4ish. But yeah, it was just in the middle of Boston, breaking down. Thankfully, she wasn't in the tunnel, because God help you. Yeah. 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 I remember. I remember when the. No, it wasn't my friend. It wasn't my friend. It was just some. It was just some random. Yeah. I speaking about the tunnel. I remember hearing a story of a guy who got like about a few months after the tunnel opened. A guy who got blackout drunk. He did the responsible thing and called a cab, or someone called the cab for him. But next thing one minute he's drinking, the next minute he's waking up in a crawl space in a tunnel, and he calls the police and he calls 911 for help. What? You know the mother. You know that family who the guy who got the guy. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, whatever happened to him? Did he get a fined or arrested? I honestly gotta know. If you don't mind me asking, that is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. Zero. Go right ahead. Yep. Go right ahead. We still have some things to do. Uh, all wings reporting though. Tavo here. Hey, how you feeling, by the way, Zari? Good to hear. Good to hear. Mm-hmm. Yes. We actually decided it's gonna be a split recap. That was not decided. All right, are we good? Jackie, shall you, or you want to wait for Russ? You weren't. Hey! Thanks, Gumby. and and now, oh, No,
It doesn't stop you from hearing. It just doesn't. It just means you're not broadcasting anything. So we won't pick up any back. Not a problem. Yeah, it just means we won't pick up any background noise or anything. Hello, Robert. We'll need for everybody.
alrighty.
Why is there a bear on stream? Continue.
And now, for the first recap of 2021, we take you to Kamari. Take it away, Kamari.
Mari.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll get back to you.
don't worry. We haven't
Way to
forgotten
put me
you
on the
much.
spot, Tom.
Welcome.
Okay. So, when last we saw our intrepid adventurers, we did the smart thing that everyone should do in every D&D game ever. We split the party.
While we're young, Kamari.
So, sorry. So anyway, all of us were like, what do? We need to share all of this information. And so I told everybody what I learned. And I actually gave everybody all of the information for once, brother. So anyway, we all took our pieces of Titan Copper. It wasn't peer pressure or anything. Like, we all chose to do it. And it was... There's a word to describe it, but I don't think it exists in common. So, Tavo, at first I thought was like, maybe it didn't work. And then I was looking at him and he got his angel boner. His wings are copper now, and they're like super pretty and detailed. And then Zero did his, and he's got this crazy mask with like the horns on it, which is a running theme, by the way, big man. I wanna like check on that. Meru pulled a me and locked himself in his room for a week or two and refused food and beverage and company and so on, and now is also pierced because adorable. And I sort of, maybe a little bit, had mood swings and wound up
little bit?
with
A little bit?
just a little.
Can both of you not... She's taking long enough as it is.
I'm just saying, yours.
Anyway, I have a really awesome new belly button ring that changes colors. Brother.
I will admit it was pretty awesome timing that.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I believe I am taking over at this point. So, Ravelin also got her piece of Titan Copper, and hers manifested in a rather fun way.
Yay.
Which, I believe the first part was no. Was the first part the White Raven, or...
No. The manifestation of the copper
Okay, yeah.
started in my
so-
arm.
yeah.
The spider.
Which took the form of a Black Widow, which I'm
It's
not sure if
fitting.
I should be concerned. But that night, she manifested another little trick. After waking up from a dream, which she never has, but we'll get past that, she went completely invisible while I was grabbing her a glass of water, which led to me searching the entire house. And then
Sorry,
yeah.
it's one of those
Clever.
dreams that you really want to escape from.
and then comforting her for the rest of the evening. And then, while I was out, Kamari went over to the house with Ravelin's mom for something. And yeah, I think that's where we left off. And I think mine took like 5 minutes less than Kamari's.
Well, there's a difference in the detail.
P.S. That's awkward.
I hate to say it, but it's adding words and such does not add detail.
In any case.
Yeah, your mail, you finished too fast.
Mama, we're on stream.
Someone get him some ice for that burn.
Got him!
He needs to go straight to the burn ward. It's over. It's done. Get him
No,
an ambulance.
we're in America. I don't have good enough insurance for that. That hurt.
It was meant to.
All right. Settle down, children. Settle down.
Give me a sec.
I win that one.
Yeah.
And with perfect timing, my wife just comes in and brings me a bowl of popcorn. Mm.
I apologize, but not very much.
All right. Now, where was I?
I have no idea.
Ordering the stream, that ain't gonna happen tonight, sorry.
Now, as I was saying, it is now 3 days before the wedding. The dresses have been made, positionings have been done, but there's still setting up of the cathedral for the most part to be done. Outside of Coronis's house, a figure is walking up, moving to the door, and with a firm but somewhat tentative knock, less out of fear, more out of, am I sure this is the right place? Sort of tentativeness. Ravelin, you simply hear,
Not expecting any deliveries, but I will go and answer the door.
and as you answer the door, you come face to face with a tall and fairly regal-looking tabaxi woman. A little bit older, but still looking in the prime of health.
And said Tabaxi would see a white-haired, like icy blue-eyed human female who's dressed as if she came from a higher social class. Lots of lace and very tailored to fit. Can I help you?
I am looking for my son.
You mean Coronis?
Well, yes.
He's in his workshop. Please come in, I'll let him know you've arrived.
Make it reasonably quick.
Okay. Please. And she'll show you into a nice little sitting room. It's not overly decorated. There's an essential, like, base maleness that clearly she has tried to feminize with, like, little knickknacks and a vase of flowers and stuff, but it still reeks of bachelor pad.
And it's
She'll-
clean.
Yes, it's clean. Of course it's clean. You'd be a cleric.
can
isn't the word
wait.
clean? So she'll see you to the sitting area and then head upstairs. And she
I
will,
will look around.
yeah, Coronis. There's no knocking. Rav's in your workshop, and like, door closed behind her, leaning against it, like,
Am I getting arrested again?
nope. Well, maybe.
Maybe? What's going on?
We have a visitor. And
Is
it's your
it
mother.
Val? What? He falls out of his chair at his workbench.
You did invite her.
I didn't expect you to show up. That is a very long voyage. Oh boy.
She's downstairs, and she asked me to get you quickly. So
Yep, I'm going to expeditiously. On my way down the stairs as I go.
What are you doing on the way down the stairs as you go?
Almost tripping.
Okay. No,
Like
you
in
cut
my
out.
hurry to get down the stairs, I almost tripped down
Yeah, no,
the stairs.
It's just that you cut out a little bit, so I was just double checking.
And I peek into the sitting room. Carefully.
Arrested again?
Hi, Mama.
Do you
Come on,
wish
got
to
arrested
explain?
first. The charges were dropped because I didn't actually do it. And it was actually part of an ongoing investigation that needed to be handled. That we handled.
Then why again?
Because I don't know who's trying to frame me for something. It could be Kamari.
I doubt your sister would frame you.
Not entirely true. You remember, she is kind of crafty. At times.
I
Yeah.
raised all my children to think for themselves on their feet.
Yes, Mama.
Do you want to explain?
I just did.
Not really. Do you wish to introduce me to your soon-to-be bride?
Oh, Ravelin? Mama, this is Ravelin. Ravelin, this is my mother.
Ravelin would have snuck by using like exit stage invisible to get to the kitchen to make tea, and is coming back in as he's introducing her.
Rav? Mama's a Kaibal. We want coffee.
The tea's for me.
Well,
I go
then
to the kitchen and make
as a
coffee.
host, you have already lost points.
I book to the kitchen
No,
and make
the
coffee.
coffee's in here. You hold up the like flask of eternal coffee that Kamari made.
It's
We-
cold.
No.
No, the mug of infinite coffee actually makes infinite hot coffee.
Yeah. That's why it's
Unless it's my son who does iced coffee.
No, there's a distinct lack of ice around here.
But I will make fresh coffee the way the halflings taught me and present Mama with what is essentially the magical equivalent to a cup of cafe.
The coffee is good. It's a shame your wife didn't know how to make it.
Mother, you taught me that every member of the family should be able to fend for themselves.
Yes, but in a
That
guest
means-
scenario, the wife will cover the husband.
I come from a family of
I
tailors.
apologize.
In my family, guests accept the offerings that are given. We often don't have very much else.
I understand, however, in the circumstances, he did not sufficiently warn you.
In fairness, I don't think there is sufficient warning for a visit from you, Mama.
Really? Flick.
Ow! Okay, that does hurt. I feel bad for Kamari now.
I see where you get it from. He is
Well-
very much like you when it comes to dealing with Kamari and the ear flicks.
Well, she did raise 5 children, basically by herself while Dad was off working.
I've heard, and it is commendable.
I don't ask that my children follow my path. I simply ask that they're happy with the paths they've chosen and that they choose well.
I take Rev's hand, look at her. I think I did.
Only time can tell. Flick.
Ow!
That's never going to get old.
It's already,
But it's not.
it's already gotten old.
Only for you.
Does Kamari know you're in town?
Not yet.
I should make dinner reservations for us at Mayru's. No one does a welcome dinner like the halflings.
I enjoy
That's
the
probably a good
halflings
idea.
cooking. Just not at supper time. First or second meal will work, but not at supper time.
The restaurant they have caters to more than just halfling clientele. But I
I
can arrange for it to be a
understand.
breakfast instead.
We could do second breakfast.
While pretending to be still rubbing the spot where Mama flicked me, Kamari just gets a message in her head. SOS, SOS, come to the house, please. Come to the house.
Oh, no, to use that link, Cronus, you actually have to say it out loud.
Yeah. So you could say that, but you'd be whispering.
Oh, I whisper it very quietly.
And who has called you, my son?
By the way, Mama Kaibold, check your private messages.
Hang on. Remember, I don't know this as well as you guys do.
It's quite all right, Mama.
No problem.
Let's try
Uh,
that.
I'm just loving this.
Mhm.
Just let me know and I can nudge Cheeto. He's sitting here right beside me and loves growling on stream.
One time.
How do I check how do I do this?
Okay, so do you remember last night when I was there and I showed you that little face looking?
Okay, from Fallen.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I was just inviting Kamari to come see you, Mama.
Evil as you do, Fallen.
And where am I sleeping this evening?
Wait, time out. Out of character. I thought we'd established that.
Respond to your mother, Saronis.
Flick!
Ow! To be determined?
Flick!
Well, there definitely isn't room at Kamari's with everyone that's there. We've got a spare room here.
My son has not answered my question.
Well, we do have a spare room, Mama.
Show me. Now!
I show her to the spare room. Which is rather basic because we really don't have guests.
It basically has a bed with
A
no
dresser.
bedding on it, and a small wardrobe.
You really expect me to accept this as hospitality from you and your soon-to-be bride?
Once we put bedding on it,
Flick!
ow!
You want to try that again?
Well, at this point, I'm going to give you two options. I can put bedding in and make sure that this is a comfortable space, or I can get you a room at the inn. The entire time I say this, I am guarding my ears.
Were I you, I'd guard my ankle. I suggest that in addition to bedding, you clean out the wardrobe from other people's things.
There shouldn't be anything in the wardrobe. As I've specified, we really don't get guests, Mama.
Then what is this? Holding up someone else's nightwear.
I quickly jump and grab that.
That's not one of my collection, is it?
I believe it is. Did you take extra closet space?
I may have indeed. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's overflow from the things I've been gradually feeding into Kamari's wardrobe. Her lab chic is not up to standards. I will clean that out.
Thank you. Minor flick.
Is this how Mama Kaibal just shows her affection? The level of flicks?
Flicks are annoying. Wrapping one's tail around the wrist is affection. I didn't hit anyone with that flick.
Fair enough.
That was just a warning.
Fair enough.
Question, Ravelin. Do we have an extra set of bedding for the guest room?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I will go fetch that and get the bed made.
Why don't you leave this with me and take your mother over to see Kamari? I'm sure you all have some catching up to do.
Will
That
you be
is
joining us shortly
acceptable.
thereafter?
Let us go visit Kamari and give your bride-to-be some time to rectify the issues. No, I'm just getting it. Excuse me, guys.
Okay.
No, I'm just getting a new pump. The water bowl can be washed. No, you're fine. Sorry about that, folks.
Quite all right.
Bro?
So as Saronis and Kamari and Mama Kaibal head towards Kamari's house, the first thing Mama Kaibal would notice is the house looks surprisingly new, as if it's recently been rebuilt.
Is there still a tarp anywhere in sight?
Oh, fortunately.
Oh no.
Thank God. Thank God.
The second thing she'd notice is the smell of cookies being baked.
Kamari, have you changed professions?
You guys aren't quite there yet.
Has your
but that-
sister changed professions?
No, Mama. That might actually be, well, an extra sibling.
An extra sibling?
Yeah, that's Meru.
Elucidate.
Meru is a halfling who is part of our inquisitorial team, and over time, due to, well, for lack of a better way to put it, a lack of her own family outside the Inquisition, me and Kamari kind of adopted her as a sibling.
She seems to cook well.
Well, he's a rather interesting halfling.
Most halflings are.
Please, for the love of Cheska, say we're at the door, Fallen.
Closer to the door, the sounds of, life can be heard. Sounds of a familiar voice shouting back and forth with an unfamiliar younger voice.
Oh, and I forgot to mention.
Oh, save that
Shannon.
one. Save that.
As you guys arrive and knock,
Knock.
you would hear, "Kamari! Door!
What?
Door!
Ow!
You got
I'm
it!
busy!"
Busy? What do you mean you're... No, you know what? No. I don't want to know. I don't even wanna
Kamari,
know.
open the door.
The door just creaks very, very slowly open to a Kamari standing in just like pants and a shirt, grease stains, or a couple of grease stains on the shirt, a smudge of dirt across her cheek. And Mama, this is the first time you've seen her in a long time. She's still got her glasses, but she's got 5 piercings down her left ear. And if the light is catching correctly, there is something sparkling behind her anytime her tail swishes, which right now it is not. It is stuck straight out behind her, and her ears are to the ceiling.
Hey, Kamari, look who came to visit.
Her eyes are like darting back and forth between Saronis and Mama.
Hello, Kamari.
Hi, Mama.
Will you not welcome me into your house?
Kamari just silently steps back and lets the door open.
Kamari, that is not the same as welcoming me into your home.
Come on in, Mama. We're happy to have you.
Better. Introduce me to your friends.
Oh boy.
Notice that the entire house is in a state of clean dirt. That kind of dirty where it's definitely lived in by multiple people. There's little bits of things out of place, but it's relatively kept tidy. There also is evidence of a young woman in the house.
Kamari ushers Mama and Saronis into the living room, clearing a stack of books off either side of the couch. One set of school books, another set of, well, also school books, but a little bit higher level. And she's clearing off space on the table, moving thesis notes that are completed and half a finished Blue Ox. Have a seat, Mama. I'll go get Meru.
Kamari.
And I'll get coffee.
Thank you, Kamari. Who is the student?
Me?
Now.
Sort of. Me and Shannon.
Who is Shannon? Now.
My daughter?
My bonus granddaughter.
Well, I mean, she's the same age as Clara, so I guess that's kind of, sort of. Clara, by the way, is your youngest.
Kamari, introduce me.
Yes. I was going to, but
Now!
yes, ma'am. And Kamari books it into the kitchen and goes, Meru, we have a 911. I need your best. I need coffee. I need tea cakes. As presentable as humanly possible. Please, 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 please. My mom is in the other room. And then she books it up the stairs 2 at a time and just flings herself into Shannon's room and attempts to stumble over her words.
Hey, Mama, did you see her feet touch the stairs at all? I think Kamari finally mastered levitation.
Saronis, stop trying to get your sister into more trouble than she's already in.
Kamari comes back down the stairs and then just kind of stands in the living room with her hands folded in front of her.
You get a chance to respawn from being muted.
As behind Kamari comes down a lovely human girl about 13. Just kind of goes, well, hi, Mama Kaibal. It's nice to meet you finally.
Mama, this is Shannon. Shannon, this is my mama.
Flick.
Ow! That was the piercings! Kamari steps back 2 steps so that she is hopefully out of Mama's flicking range.
Shannon, come forward.
Shannon just kind of fearlessly comes forward.
Well, you have brass, I'll give you that. Damn it. There we go. Sorry. I lost the page for a minute.
It's okay.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
She would proceed to tell you that she is the daughter of Susanna Rhine, a head researcher in the city of Dern, which you would have vaguely heard about as being a fairly, well, it's sort of the capital of magic. It's one of like 3 places that are run by wizards and all kinds of other things. Very academic. Picture the biggest college city you've ever heard of.
So Boston.
Ryan worked with the local college on several projects, but was unfortunately killed during an investigation into a local problem. Kamari had gone to school with her mom, and after everything had passed, had taken her in. She has since been continuing her education here in the city of Bells with the help of Kamari and Meru.
While Shannon is explaining this, Saronis would lean over to Kamari. Are the others here?
Kamari doesn't even answer. She's just staring at the ground with her hands folded
Mama.
in front of her.
Flick!
Mama Kaibal.
Nothing.
Come, child. I would learn more about you.
Kind of goes, well, I'd love to, ma'am, but I have a guest, and it'd be rude if I take too much time away.
Oh no.
Oh no!
The guest has preceded me.
Well, she's been...
Kamari just mutters under her breath, Lily.
Well, she's my best friend, and it's kind of bad to leave her alone for too long.
Then bring her down to meet me.
Hey, turns around, heads back up the stairs.
Kamari, where's my coffee?
Mary's bringing it out in a second, Mama.
At around that time, Meru would be walking out of the kitchen.
Carrying
Meru?
coffee, freshly baked cookies, and wow, for one troll 20 is not going to troll me on this.
You are Meru?
Yes, and who might you be?
I am the mother of Kamari and Coronis. Bring the coffee.
Or would set the coffee down, the cups, the cookies,
I thank you, Meru.
I would just take a seat.
Kamari,
Yes, ma'am.
it is unusual for people from the kitchen to join us.
Meru's not help, Mama. Meru's
Meru's
like my
family.
other brother. Meru's family.
He is not a brother of my birth.
No, but he's one of us.
No, this was when I explained no family kind of got adopted.
Meru, come before me.
One thing to immediately notice, Mama Kaibold, Meru has feline ears and 2 tails. Each one with a copper decoration dangling from it. One you recognize as your holy symbol, the other you don't recognize so much.
Meru, come before me.
Meru would stand up, walk over.
I do not know the second symbol. Please explain it.
That's not something anyone here needs to be concerned with at the moment.
Then come closer and explain it.
Meru would take half a step back.
I do not trust one of my kind who will not explain a symbol I do not. Flick!
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Oh no.
Now!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Now!
I was waiting for that.
Mama, that's enough.
No!
I
Yes,
step between
Mama.
Mama and Meru.
I stand next to Saronis. That's enough, Mama.
Meru, you will come to me,
No, Mama.
and Kamari and Coronis will leave.
It's
Meru is not a dog. You
I
need
would
to back.
I would need
Dog.
counsel as to why you carry 2 symbols.
Yuck.
I do
Mama,
not
stop
judge.
it.
I
Maybe we just
simply
call the
wish
dog.
to understand.
At this point, a very large fey wolf would sort of patter into the room and just sort of start dragging Meru out of the room.
You cease, Flick. I simply
Mama.
wish to understand the youngling.
Kamari stands really tall for once, looks her mama dead in the face, says, Mama, you're in my house now. Do not be rude to my friends and my family.
I do not wish to be rude. I simply wish to understand a symbol I do not know.
That's fine.
But Meru is not comfortable explaining it at this point. You need to take a step back.
For once, I actually
You-
agree with Saronis.
And
Drew, I release you from my request, but wish to revisit it when my children are not here.
but this is one of the few times you have seen Saronis and Kamari stand united on a front.
That
And right
doesn't always matter.
And right about that point, you would see a little dark-haired girl stepping into view along with Shannon.
And who are you, child?
Lily Claxton Netchum.
Come closer, Lily. I would get to know you.
Real quick, can I just tell you how proud I am she took my name?
You adopted her, Tavo.
I know, but even still.
She just kind of saunters up. Unlike Shannon, she is the yin to Shannon's yang. Where Shannon seems very lively and fearless, she has more of a, there isn't anything you can do to scare this girl because she's seen worse.
Come closer, child. I'll get to know you better. Do you like cookies?
Okay. If they're Meru's cookies, I always love Meru's cookies.
Then come, share with me. I would get to know you a bit better.
Her and Shannon just kind of wander over to one of the couches and flop down.
Tell me a bit about yourself, my dear.
I used to come from a small mining village called Misty Meadows. And I now live with a friend of Kamari's named Tavo Etchun, a priest of Kelemvor.
Interesting. Tell me more about your adoptive father.
Oh,
An angel.
Unique. Do you like cookies?
Cookies.
Do you prefer tea to coffee, my dear? Or perhaps milk?
Milk first, but tea's okay. They don't really give us coffee. They say it winds us up.
Kamari, please bring milk for Lily.
Mari silently goes to the kitchen and comes back with a glass of milk.
Thank you. Would you like some milk, Lily? And perhaps another cookie.
Kamari's gonna quickly duck out of the room and go check on Meru.
Probably find Meru hyperventilating in the kitchen.
May, I'm sorry. I had no idea she was coming. I swear, I like totes swear. She's an event.
I broke down. I'm sorry.
I know. Kamari just kind of takes a knee and holds out her arms in case Meru wants a hug.
Hugs, Kamari.
It's okay, May. You know me and Roni got your back. We share the same stripes, right? She kind of like playfully nudges Meru's ear.
This is going to be a long day.
Yeah, I know. Maybe lemon tarts? Those seem to go over well.
Sure. I think we have the ingredients.
Okay. If you need anything, just use the Rocky Talkie or link. You know where to find me.
I keep forgetting about that thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm still getting used to it too. And she gives Meru a big hug and a kiss on the top of the head and heads back into the living room.
Out the milk.
With the milk.
And about the time that Kamari comes back into the room, there's another...
There's another...
Oh, if this is another Kaibo. There's another knock on the door.
Ah.
Kamari tiptoes to the door and opens it.
Find Tavo coming to pick up Lily.
Hey, Kamari, how are you?
No, Tavo, no. Crap.
And I just walk right in because it's Kamari. And then I see that Where's the foyer to the sitting room?
It's mostly
Directly to the
yeah,
right.
it's mostly just the sitting room. There isn't really a foyer to it. It's just
Okay.
around the corner to the door.
Okay. So I walk in and I just call for Lily. Hey, Lily, I'm here.
Tavo. Oh, Tesca, help me. Tavo? This is Mama.
Wait.
Mama? This is Tavo.
And I quickly pull Kamari to a side and like turn my back and I'm like, wait, Mama, as in Mama?
Yeah, that Mama. Yeah, I didn't know
Well,
that. Like, yeah, I know. I know.
All right,
I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
And she steps around him again.
And I turn around
Mama?
I turn around with that big plastered smile. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Kyball.
Mama, Tavo's a priest of Kalimvor and an inquisitor and my boyfriend.
At that,
Really?
at the saying of her boyfriend, like the smile just becomes that much more strained.
I think someone needs to make a wisdom save.
Not yet.
Yes, Mrs. Kyball.
Madam to you.
So,
Tavo.
I'm sorry, Madam Kyball.
And just exactly how do you know my daughter?
Oh, that's very simple. We're on the same inquisitorial team. We have saved each other's lives more times than we can count.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And where does Lily figure into this?
Without-
relationship?
Lily just kind of butts in. They saved me from Misty Meadows.
We had a mission up there. It was, without going into too much detail, it was bad, and she was one of the few survivors. She was alone, and I took her in. Because when I was a child, I was alone, and I was taken in by the Kalimvor. It's a decision I do not regret for a single second.
Hey, Mama, when you have a moment, just check your private messages.
You do realize that Mama has. Okay, I actually got it in one shot this time.
Yay!
I am glad that Lily has found such a protector in you.
He's a good guy, Mama.
Yes, I mean, again, when I was a child, I was in a very dangerous position, and I was saved. It's the
Mama,
least I can do.
Tavo's a lot like Corin. Corin would be your oldest.
Kamari makes like a little bit of a face like she's trying not to giggle.
Come, Tavo, sit with us. Lily has not quite finished her milk and cookies.
Hey, Lily, are those mirror cookies?
Uh-huh.
Woo-hoo. And I sit down on the a chair, and I grab it. A few, not too many, just a few.
So, Tavo,
Mm-hmm.
where is your relationship with my daughter? Pardon
Oh.
me, that was a good night for.
That's
Real life.
okay. That's okay.
Jeff says good night to all.
Good night, Jeff.
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Good
Everyone
night.
says good night, babe. I am the castle. Yep. Jeff said, "Good night, everyone. Storm the castle."
Yeah, you kind of arm, Mama. I love it.
My playful side.
Yep. But so getting back to the question, what do you mean by where am I with your daughter? We are in a relationship together. It's a very healthy, very loving one.
Mama,
And what are your intentions in the future?
I should probably tell you something, Mama.
Now,
My intentions with your daughter. Well,
He's not my only boyfriend.
at that,
Flick.
Tavo chokes on his cookie.
Does he survive?
I mean, it's like when you're taking a drink and you hear some startling news, you're just like, as Kamari just comes right out with it.
Not your only boyfriend?
No, Mama. Not my only boyfriend.
Explain.
I love them both.
I said explain, not excuse. Flick.
Kamari, if I may.
Nope.
Okay.
I love them both, Mama. That's all I need.
And where does Lily fit in this?
She's my daughter.
Lily is Tavo's daughter.
I did not ask
And
you,
Nikki.
Tavo. I
You-
asked my daughter.
Madam Kaibal, you're talking about my daughter. When a question is about my daughter, I will answer it. Thank you very much.
No, I asked where she fits in my daughter's world.
She's an extra daughter to
Tavo?
her.
Do yourself a favor. This is the time to close the mouth.
Fine.
Tavo, I know where
Lily?
you are in my daughter's world. I need to know where the child is.
Lily is as much my daughter as Shannon is. They are inseparable. Where one goes, as does the other.
Shannon and Lily both go, yeah, pretty much.
And Tava nods.
I can accept that for now. I would meet the other.
He'll be here. You said it yourself, Mama. You've got too much love in your heart. You gotta share it. And she kind of motions around the room.
I understand love in one's heart. I also understand the needs of the young. And a
Kamari goes
stable
over and sits
world-
on the arm of Tavo's chair.
I put my arm around Kamari. No cares given.
Tavo, how do you feel about this?
It's what we decided.
You are willing to share your worlds with my daughter?
Without question. I mean, I pretty much already do anyway. We are in the same team. We, as I said, we saved each other's lives more times than we can count. We're as much a part of each other's worlds as the sun and the stars.
You are. But what about the young?
Same.
We
Kind of
shall
used
see.
to it.
We shall see.
Shannon goes, we're used to it. My mom used to go off on expeditions all the time. And Lily just kind of goes, and my folks worked in the mines every day.
Both respectable.
And we
I
do
wish
not.
to look out for the young.
So do we. We do not. When we go off on a mission, we do not just leave them willy nilly. We have support structure. We have people. We have trusted people that we keep them with. And they're more than happy.
I got to bug out for 2.
Okay.
I will be right back.
All right. And when she gets back, there will be a third knock at the door.
Oh, I don't get to give Zero a heads up.
I'm assuming you've given him a heads up on the way over.
Yeah.
We can do the conversation between Rav and Zero while
Yeah. While we
they
wait.
Go
take
ahead.
care of our business.
So, Zero, there will be a knock at your door. Pretty urgent one. And if your door's not locked, or even if it is locked, I'm coming in anyway.
I was muted. Yep, come in.
Zero? We got a
Yeah.
problem / situation / I don't know what this is, maybe family emergency.
All right. What's going on? What's wrong? You okay? Soros okay? Who's what?
Mama's here.
Mom? What? I already met your mom.
No, Mama Kaibal.
Zero. I need to know at that point. What are you doing? Like, what are you in the kitchen? Like, where are you? Just for head.
He's about to poop a brick, is what he's about to do.
No. Now he is.
I was just sitting there writing some sheet music, piano, and Maxwell's just sitting in my lap. Maxwell has been flung from my lap as I stood up quickly.
Maxwell gives you a dirty look before going off to find a corner and possibly poop in your shoes.
Cheeto just grumbled.
Okay. Where are we going? I'm guessing they came to your house first, so I'm assuming
yeah.
she's at Kamari's?
Yeah, my house first. I've just finished cleaning the entire thing from top to bottom and redoing the guest room and buying flowers and like.
You went.
Yeah.
You went through all. All right. I remember how
Yeah,
much. Okay.
Yeah, there's a spell for that.
Well, she can't come here.
No.
Okay.
She's at Kamari's
Okay.
with Saronis and Tavo and Lily and Shannon and Meru and Yogg.
So I'm the last. Oh, why me? Oh, all right.
Okay, Zero, we're gonna get through this together. United front.
Holds up his hand while his head's lowered. United front.
Take her, right? Take her, but
All right. Let's do this.
do you want to bring Maxwell? It is a family thing, after all.
Yeah, come on, Maxwell.
Maxwell
Sorry,
is nowhere to be found.
I'll give you a treat. You can see Lily and Shannon.
Maxwell is nowhere to be found.
You can't say you give him a treat. You need to shake the treat bag. That's how it works.
And you also mentioned Lily and Shannon. If I remember the last time, they scared him to death.
Yeah, I think that
Oh.
was the opposite of enticement. But clearly the cat's
Regardless.
smarter than the rest of us.
Nowhere to be found. Let me just leave some food out for him, so if he decides to come back, he's not without. And then we're off.
Very.
Yeah, so I will give Zero kind of the blow by blow of what I know about having happened at Zeronis' house on the walk to Kamari's house.
Okay.
Soon enough, a third knock
Just
is
remember
heard
that we're
at the
being
door.
bad members of the Inquisition, okay? We took down someone like Pruel. Because that was a horrible, horrible event. So if we can do that, we can do this.
You're a man. You're a
Please
man.
stop laughing evilly. That is not helping.
It's
I'm
bad
so
enough when
more Goliath. I'm not afraid of anything.
it's bad enough. It's bad enough when Fallen does it. It's worse when you do it, Mama.
And
That's
right
my
about that,
job.
and right about that time is when the third knock arrives.
Kamari gets up and just opens the door, leaves it open, and just walks back to the chair.
Mama Kaibal,
After-
in
you,
walks,
big man.
in walks Ravelin, and probably one of the largest beings you've ever seen.
Kamari. Introductions are in order.
Mama, Zero Render, musician, inquisitor, and my other boyfriend.
Hey, buddy.
Zero,
Hi, ma'am.
Mama.
Or-
Flick.
By the way, Mama, he is 7'6". So your flick would probably be at like his waist.
I didn't flick in his direction. It was simply
Sharonis is sitting next to you. I'm on the other side of the room.
chicken shit.
Yep. I am a woman enough to say, yep.
By the way, Mama Kaibal, when we were describing, yeah, Zero is 7'6", nearly 300 pounds of fairly solid muscle. When we say
And
one of the largest largest beings you've ever met, we weren't kidding.
And you are?
Nice to meet you, ma'am. My name is Zero, as Kumar has introduced. And yes, I am her other boyfriend.
Who's about to get pounced on by Yogg.
Yep. As Zero finishes his speech, the big wolf from earlier just comes barreling out from the kitchen and just leaps about 4 feet across the room before tackling the large man.
Knock to the ground. Hi, Yogg. Nice to see you too. Oh, I'm sorry I haven't seen you much.
What follows is about 3 minutes of intense puppy love.
Yes, I love you too. Okay.
We would have brought Maxwell, but he decided to do the typical feline thing and take himself elsewhere.
Amused flick of the tail. And Maxwell is?
Right, I'll just raise my...
That adopted Zero. Zero,
Right.
you know if you try and talk, you're gonna get puppy kisses, so just wait.
Yep.
Apologies.
Perfectly fine.
Puppy kisses. Puppy kisses is always a thing.
Yeah. Especially with Yogg and Zero.
Down, Yogg.
Yogg. Come.
Yogg
No.
is not your average dog.
Yogg, come. I have cookies.
Favorite cookies.
Yogg will immediately.
Favorite cookies.
Oh,
The
no.
minute you mention you have cookies,
Oh no.
Yogg comes over the couch, lands on top of Saronis, and just sits there staring at you while squashing your son, tail wagging furiously.
Can we make this worse for Saronis? That the tail's hitting
No,
him in the
no,
face
no,
every
no.
time?
No, he's being sat on.
And the tail's hitting him in the face every time.
No, just sat on.
Okay.
Yogg, if you get on the floor, I will give you cookies.
Yogg just jumps off Saronis, sits down.
Here are cookies for the Yogg.
Oh no! Oh no! The cookies are at Yogg level! Oh no!
Oh, yeah. Yogg is a little food obsessed, so only
Yeah.
what you want Yogg to have is to be at Yogg's level.
Yeah. And all
Because
the
if there's
cookies.
more than that,
Fortunately-
it's fair game.
Fortunately, Mama Kaibal knows about these beasts and offered the dog a full tray of cookies.
Oh, now Mayra's gonna have to deal with a hyper Yogg. I'm gonna go warn
her problem.
I'm gonna go warn Meru about the sugar high and inquire about dinner. If you don't mind having us all here tonight, Kamari?
Truthfully, Linny, you know how it goes in this house. Everyone's welcome. As long as Meru's cool with cooking, and I'm not allowed anywhere near that kitchen.
I suggested the halflings, but that is apparently going to be second breakfast tomorrow for all of us.
Yeah, that's normally post-hangover breakfast, second breakfast. Anyway, yeah,
Hangover?
that's
All right, then I'll make us reservations. And I will head into the kitchen to check on Meru and
And I am
Get
giving
dinner started.
the critter scritches a la cheesecloths and cookies.
Yogg is now officially your friend.
Of course, all dogs are.
And Yogg will eventually try and become a 60-pound lap dog.
Yogg, you are welcome to stay with us, but you will sit where people aren't, or you get no more cookies.
Yogg actually mutters back at you in Sylvan, like, goddamn.
Hey,
The dog
cats and
can
dogs understand each other.
Well, no, the dog actually is smart enough to speak a language.
Yeah, Yogg's sentient.
And cats know who's sentient.
Fair enough.
But as for dinner probably
Or
goes.
second breakfast.
no, it's dinner
Well-
tonight. Second breakfast at the halflings tomorrow.
Dinner is remarkably good.
Thank you. That was a pleasant meal. Yogg, do you want another cookie?
Yogg is currently head pops up from under the table where Yogg was hunting for scraps.
No, Mama, please, not another cookie.
Too late.
Yogg does have to stay here tonight.
Too late.
Please, no more cookies for Yogg.
One won't hurt.
You say
Yogg
that.
after Yogg
One.
takes the cookie, she looks back and then Sylvan goes, "Yeah, one more won't hurt, or 2, or 3, maybe 4."
Or 12.
Would glare across the room at Yogg.
Hey, moms get to spoil the kids.
Before looking back at Mama Kaibal, sorry for how I acted earlier.
You have time.
There's a lot I don't tell everyone, but everyone here except for you kind of knows what that emblem is. And it has to do with the many years I've spent enslaved. It's not
I can
something I
understand.
like talking about.
I can understand that, Mira. However, things out in the open can no longer haunt us.
You should say that to the Lich.
Say that word around her.
Considering the same person this emblem belongs to is the same one who took everything away from me.
Many of us suffer through involuntary servitudes. Freedom
Yes,
is when we admit it and embrace it.
but the Fae do not let those escape their grasp easily. I am essentially
No, but you've
on
taken the
borrowed
first
time.
step. You've taken the first step. Take the next. Sorry, that was my son making his commentary.
Perfectly fine, Mama.
Around this time, the kids would toddle off upstairs.
Shannon,
Sleep well, littles.
that history report had better be done by tomorrow. Or you are-
Yeah.
No, don't give me that. You are for sure going to get that done. And if you touch my blocks, I'll figure something out.
You won't
Don't
be
touch it.
getting your cake tomorrow you wanted me to make.
Fine.
Lily, make sure she does it.
I will. I always do.
That's my girl.
Tavo, you realize that's about with putting a fox in charge of a hen house, right?
I mean,
They seem
it's
to
gonna
do
happen.
alright.
It's gonna happen anyway with them. So why not? Why not just try to reinforce it?
Question. Who is the strongest student of the three?
The three?
Me, Shannon, and Lily. That's a weird question, Mama.
I'd personally have to say Kamari.
The amount of time that you've been spent cloistered working on your thesis, I agree with Saronis.
I
don't know if that qualifies as being the best, but you're definitely a dedicated student.
Well, that's a little bit different because I kind of sort of need that in order to. I submitted it. Did I say that? I submitted it. Yeah, I did. And
congratulations.
it super nervous.
But Madam Kybal, I would say that Kamari is the best because she has more real world practical experience. That's not to say the girls won't make it. I'm sure they will, especially under our tutelage. But there's not a one of us here that doesn't have something that was made specifically for them by Kamari. That has helped us in our line of work more times than we can count.
Then I suggest that rather than being a taskmaster, Kamari collaborate with the children.
I walked right into that. We walked right into that.
It's not a bad
Yes.
idea, actually.
You're
Sorry, I don't play fair.
You're masterful. I love it.
I mean, it's not a bad idea necessarily. We
It's
just
not. It's not. But
haven't really had the opportunity lately.
it's not. But we just walked right into that trap. We.
Not a trap.
Sorry, Fallen.
Shannon's lab.
What was that?
Shannon's lab.
Shannon's lab.
What about Shannon's lab?
I'm lost.
So are we.
Where is Shannon's lab, Kamari?
In mine.
Then
Comment
it
about-
seems to me
you're
Kamari
already
needs
doing
to
it.
show the lab.
Well, actually,
I mean,
It was
Shannon
more
does.
reminding her that Shannon does collaborate with her often.
oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, Shannon helps me with my work a lot.
It was,
But do you
pretty
help
handy.
her with hers?
Yeah. How else do you think you learn the fundamentals of arcane physics? I mean, I make stuff. She helps. She learns on the job.
That's not quite the same, but I understand the idea.
pardon me. It is 10 o'clock when we normally take our break. Shall we do that now?
I have no objection. I gotta put a boy to bed.
Sounds good.
Okay, then we'll.
Works for me.
Yep. And so just give me 1 second. And we will be back in about 10. We'll be back in about 10, 15 minutes, guys. Maybe 20. See you then, guys. All right, folks. Sorry about the delay. There's technical issues again. But without any further ado, we take you back to Fallen. Take it away, Fallen.
We will pick the next day after dinner is ended. This time in Meiru's restaurant, where Mama Kaibal's... Go ahead.
Just wanted to advise the current state of the guest room now includes fresh floral arrangements, a small gift basket of like local fruit, baked snacks, and things that she knows Saronis and Kamari like, so therefore she hopes you also like. And the entire house is now spotless. In addition, and the bedding is silk and high quality stuff. Rav went all out to go see out that guest room.
And at the end of dinner is probably when Mama Kaibald said the following. Remember the other half of the message I sent you, Mama Kaibald?
Hang on a minute. Okay. I have enjoyed the evening. It's time for me to retire. Let's see where tomorrow brings us. No tail flicks.
Good night, Mama.
Good night, Madam Kaibal.
Oh, yay. I didn't lose you. It looked like I did. I'm sorry.
Nope. Meridian 5 bye.
But yes, as she goes out and Rav starts to panic, that's when Mama Kaibald reveals that she's had a hotel room the whole time.
While I did have alternate arrangements made, this is most suitable, and I choose to stay with you and my son.
Fair enough. So we pick up the next day in the halfling restaurant that Meiru is GM for. A large breakfast laid out. As the party finally gives Mama Kaibald something she's been sort of demanding for a little while.
Coffee?
There's always coffee.
Man,
There's
Mama.
You have plenty of coffee, but no. Actually,
That
it's
was me being a smartass.
Yeah, but Mama, in this party, there's always coffee. Always.
But no, Ravelin was sort of nominated to give you the lowdown on what the party's adventure has been, which will give you all of the details
Okay.
for several of the people you've been curious about. Take it away, Ravelin.
It was after their first training mission that I was assigned to the team in order to assist in guiding them to perhaps a more streamlined path is the best way to describe it. At first I thought Kamari talked too much, that Saronis was a bit too quick on the trigger, though he was a very protective big brother. The others I didn't have a very such a strong first impression. We did several travels, different encounters, different enemies that we had been through. One of the more notable was Slimy Jack, which I'm sure makes Kamari cringe.
Okay, pardon me a minute. I keep hearing blops.
Like I'm cutting in and out? Or
No,
That
from
chat.
Roll
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, that's roll 20. You can.
yeah. Whenever
Sorry.
someone does a message in Roll20, it makes that little noise just to notify
Okay.
you.
If you want to stop
Just
that,
double checking.
Mama,
Yeah.
if you want to stop
You can
that,
stop that.
you can hover over the tab of roll 20 and right click, and you'll see a little thing that says mute tab. You won't hear any sound from it.
There's
I
also
just
a
fixed
way.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
There's also a way
I
in
turned
game
down the
console.
speaker.
you can do that too.
Remember, I'm working on a tablet and
You can do that too.
my computer.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Apologies. I did not mean to interrupt your train of
Don't
thought, Rep.
be sorry.
It's okay. It was during our adventures in Sandwall, which was a city that we helped save from Slimy Jack's experiments, when Saronis and I first had overtures. Let's see. What happened after that?
Shannon.
Yes. During one of the encounters in the sewers, Shannon's mother was there. She had been investigating the same thing that we were, only it had affected her to the point where she didn't make it. And that is one of the reasons why Kamari, as one of her friends, adopted her daughter. I mean, we could have just, foisted her off on an orphanage somewhere, but I mean, your daughter's made of stronger moral stuff than that, and decided to adopt her instead. Let's see. It was after our return to Dern, I believe, that Father Vault went missing at that time?
Yep.
Hang on.
Father Bald went missing when we went to visit Dern.
Yeah.
And y'all had to physically restrain me, pretty much.
We knew Vald was alive, and that sparked another investigation. We weren't allowed to investigate Father Vald. We were essentially put on a 2-week vacation, and that's when I started having visions, which took us north, leading us to Misty Meadows, which is where we encountered Lily for the first time. There was something there that was like mind controlling the villagers, and those villagers that died were coming back, including Lily's own family. So that's been dealt with. She knows what happened and is relatively, perhaps scarily well adjusted in spite of it. But, I mean, the presentation she gives of there's nothing she hasn't seen is probably true. It was shortly after. Hang on. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading through my notes here to try and give a cohesive thing.
After Misty Meadows, we came back here and hung out for 6 months.
No, after Misty Meadows was the.
Well, there's a fair amount of
Knockabout.
catacomb stuff and undead stuff and the Misty Meadows. That went on for quite a while. There was even resurrected raptors and a giant T-Rex. Like that was a fight, let me tell you.
That
Can we
sounds like
not
a Russell
read-
thing.
Can we not
Well, now that you...
about the time I was eaten.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This sounds interesting.
The T-Rex picked him up and tried to chew on him. But Miro's not exactly easy to swallow.
I was on its face the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you decided.
Awkward.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did blind the thing so that it would stop, like, attacking us, but, I mean, it did, like, spew acid breath spit at all of us a fair amount, so
It was tar, not acid. Don't be over dramatic.
it burned like acid. Do
Awkward.
not
It
make me tell
hurt.
her about the time you shot me.
Well, the time you pull
Oh,
out your
whoa,
gun
whoa,
on
whoa,
me.
Whoa. Shot you?
He was aiming for the zombie and I moved the wrong way and intercepted the bullet.
Yeah,
It was a
and,
total accident, but he did still shoot me.
what about the time he dry fired on me?
Yeah, you deserve that.
No, I
Wait a
didn't!
minute. Try that
At
again.
the time.
Fine, continue.
No, that was a Saronis overreaction when Kamari and Tabo first started dating.
Okay, Saronis, I want to hear your side of this.
I walked in. He was tied to the bed.
No, Roni, no.
and I fired a blank cartridge and might have scorched his butt.
Wait a minute.
Honest,
How do you
Aaron,
do
I
that
was
with
flying.
blank?
It was powdered.
Black powder weapons, so they even a blank no bullet would still cause a flare to come out the barrel.
Yeah, I know. I own one.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to pick on Saronis because that's my job.
I appreciate that.
Hi, Tavo.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Saronis is my target of choice right this minute. You will get your turn, I promise.
Yeah, so it's pretty much after we got back from that when
The
Saronis and I,
dragons or the shooting?
all of it. After we got back from Misty Meadows, that's when Saronis and I started cohabitating. That is when Miro moved in with Kamari and Shannon, and Tavo took Mira's old house with Lily. And that was pretty much like 6 months of not doing a whole lot. They pretty much put us on a indefinite vacation. I mean, Kamari was productive and kitted us all out like you would not believe.
Kamari wasn't the only one.
That's true.
By the way, say thank you, Rav. 6 months, quiet time. Say thank you. Just say thank you.
Thank you.
We are thankful for the 6 months of quiet time because it's not going to stay quiet.
You don't understand, dear. I'm you with significant experience. Just say thank you and let it go.
Okay.
I heard that snicker, Saronis.
Actually, I think that was Tavo.
That was me.
That was all.
Oh, boy, me. She heard me.
Well,
I think everybody heard that one.
well, there's still plenty of time for lots of socialization. Zero and Kamari had their first date. Not to be left out, Tavo took Miro on a date. That ended amusingly.
Would spit up his
Okay,
coffee.
so how many marriages am I actually attending today?
One.
That would be
Mama,
Oh, wait a minute. Where's this mama coming from, dear?
I'm not getting married, Mama.
Why not?
Neither one of them have
Tavo?
asked her yet.
Things are different here than on the island, Mama.
I've traveled considerably.
Also, Mama, just please don't consider my throat clearing anything because I actually took a drink and it went down the wrong way. So,
I'm still
No, but
gonna
it-
on you.
oh no.
Well, it was probably about the end of, our lull period when things around town suddenly started exploding. One of them was a museum that Lily was actually supposed to attend as a field trip. Shannon eavesdropped on their teacher to get some information but out of that conversation. But that was unbeknownst to me because at the same time as that was happening, Saronis was getting arrested at our home, which, I mean, I knew he didn't do it because, yeah, we told you about this because when he said he didn't want to get arrested again.
Again, yes.
Yeah, because it was a complete case of mistaken identity. He was being impersonated, but this is in the timeline of events what happened and when it happened. But I knew he wasn't out doing anything because it's kind of hard to do that when you're in bed with
Doing
somebody
other
who's a light
things?
sleeper. Yes, doing other things. Yes, we have a very fascinating hobby from which I will not be describing any further.
Coitus.
What was that?
Nothing. I'm just gonna go back to eating.
Oh my.
Oh, I owe you for that one. But basically, Saronis got arrested, but it wasn't publicized that he was arrested because the guy that arrested him knew he didn't do it and wanted something else to blow up while they had Saronis in custody to prove that it wasn't him, which happened. And after it happened, we were pretty much all assigned to the case, even though it could have been a conflict of interest. They thought it was more in our favor that we were somehow connected to the bomber and that he wanted to impersonate Saronis. But anyway, turned out to be one of Saronis' old schoolmates, Pearl. Another tabaxi, for some strange reason. But at the end of all of that, and some kidnapping and further explosions, and the indignity of being tied up over like some weird kind of alchemical pit, which I really don't want to repeat, we found out that Prul is working for this god or demigod called the Dismembered Lord. And we're pretty sure we've ticked him off because someone, who I'm not going to name, tried to talk to Pearl's corpse, and
That's awkward.
the god decided to respond instead. So, yeah.
At that, you hear a very audible gulp.
That is a very, very pared down description of our adventures to date and where things
Yeah.
stand.
Okay.
We don't think anything's going to happen, but I would suggest being prepared for anything while you're here, especially around us.
Obviously. Flick.
It wasn't intentional, but we've stumbled upon something and pulled the tail, and now we just need to see what happens so that we can fix it.
Okay. Pardon me for asking. Have you read the book?
The book.
When you mentioned pulling the tail, it's an old Star Trek book, and you made me smile because it's pulling one's tail is the equivalent of a massive joke.
Actually, I was quoting the latest Robin Hood movie about pulling the tail and seeing what happens, or seeing who bites.
I
Yeah.
apologize. It's an old Star Trek novel from forever ago, and it's where Sunfall comes from.
Ooh.
Which is awesome, but yeah.
Different,
I'm
different reference.
different reference. But that's basically what happens is through the course of our investigations, we have somehow pulled and kept pulling on this tail, and I think it's going to turn around and bite us at some point, because we have been a bit of a thorn in its side. So it's great that you're here. Kind of got you up to speed as much as I could about everything, and I mean, they can go ahead and correct me if I was wrong about anything or missed anything, but I think I got the highlights. So yeah, just...
So what you're saying is it's going to be an interesting wedding.
Oh, there's one more
Potentially.
thing that should be mentioned.
What?
So there was a job we did for a contact of Kamari's named Val.
Yeah, Val's
Yeah.
gonna be at the wedding.
Val will be at the wedding. And I believe Kamari has one more interesting story to share.
Mari just slowly turns her head to stare at Saronis with a look of, Saronis Terran, I am going to hang you by your tail and leave you there for eternity.
Well, I mean,
S-
Kamari might have
Kamari.
known him and introduced us, but I mean, I'm the one with the,
Oh no!
I call it
I-
clandestine, but it, I mean, no offense, Kamari, but Val's mine now.
Kamari,
Yes,
have you
Mama.
something to tell me?
No, Mama.
Try again.
Where's it?
Flick.
Saronis Terran, I swear to Tisca, I am gonna murder you. Val and I have an interesting relationship. Sure,
Another.
we'll call it that.
It's more professional.
No! Oh god, no! Oh! Ew! And you see her like flail and like flick her ears like, oh god, no! Ah! No! No, me and no. Mm-mm.
Don't think Val goes that way.
I do.
He might, but no. Mm-mm. Ugh. He was a former
Speak.
employer. I worked for him. Didn't go over so hot, and now I'm in the Inquisition.
Because
Glares at Seronis.
Oh, don't put her in the hot seat, Seronis.
I will. Seronis, don't think you've gotten away with anything. Flick.
Got arrested, Mama.
For
Smuggling.
were you?
Maybe.
You were unsuccessful. Flick.
Obviously.
What were you smuggling?
Art.
You know.
Did what I was told, Mama.
You know I have a weak spot.
That's why I didn't want to do weapons or guns or anything.
No, that's not why. This is simply where you got caught.
Maya like opens her mouth to respond and then just shuts it and just between her two boys and just stares forward.
These are good waffles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that bloody intimidating.
Yes, you are.
Just sips his coffee.
To be fair, anytime there's food, I do have my face buried in it.
This is
not
true.
to be that guy, guys, but we do need to get
Yep.
moving if we're going to get to the main event tonight.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
So the third day is spent more or less finishing setting things up.
Do I go back
And-
to my map now?
We are going back to the map now.
Okay.
But before we do, I have to adjust a few things.
Of course you do. Proper DM.
Mama, I just want to take this time while you're setting yourself up to say how honored and privileged we are to have you for this. I'm having a blast.
Oh, absolutely.
So, thank you very much
I'm
for.
honored that you guys are enjoying it. Yes, I'm a bit of a brat.
We love
I
it.
am, in fact, a mom.
I can't wait till you two get your butts in the hot seat.
The more they flail, the funnier it is for us.
I am, in fact, a mother of 5 plus 2. And I just draw on her.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So thank you very much, Mama.
You know what's
And if
funny?
you ask Russell, I still own a castrating blade.
No, we don't need to know about that.
The funny
what
thing
A
about this,
gift to me on my wedding day, believe it or not.
a wedding present!
The gentleman who crafted the blade gifted it to me on my wedding day.
I don't think that there could be a better or worse wedding present, honestly.
So,
Yep, go.
Humor there was not lost.
And now, Fallen?
So
Hang
now
on a
we-
minute. I'm hooked. Hang on a minute. There we go. I don't want to unplug you guys, but I got hooked on my mouse. Well,
not a problem.
okay. Now I can actually bring this up to a size I can see. There we go. Sorry.
All right. So, we pick up at the wedding now.
Uh-oh. Okay,
That's
let me
all
see
right.
where people are.
It is a quiet celebration. Only a few very specific people. Mama Kaibal, you are introduced to Father Vald, who takes a seat to your right.
Wait.
You're introduced to Millie and Tolson, who you've probably heard own the restaurant and are very happy restaurateurs. You're introduced to your now in-laws, the Duncans, all of whom are immensely pleasant, if somewhat dull people.
Uh-oh.
Of course, Val crashes the wedding, simply showing up in all of his splendor.
Darling!
I wouldn't really call the Duncans dull. What they are is vanilla.
Yeah, very. They're
It's like
very
all the
much.
members of the party are like, Mint Chip and Rocky Road and Tiger Tail and all the fancy, like intricate designs of various combinations and flavors, and they're like the Duncans are vanilla.
They're white toast.
It's like they're the
Simple
ones that
folk.
stayed at home, married their high school sweetheart, had kids, and kept the family business going.
Simple.
But that
folk.
family business is like the Italian mob of tailoring.
Yeah, they are very simple folk. But Val does sneak in to
Okay.
say hello.
Your side is. I'm just double checking where I am in this mess.
You're up front with Father Vald and the rest of the
Yep.
party.
You can see the ping?
On the right side.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So-
her side is on the left side. Ish.
Everyone's just sort of mingled about where they can. The rest of the party is up front. You and Vald are on the right. The in-laws are in the row just behind, along with Val, who is sidling up nicely with the Duncans. Followed by Millie
All right,
Tolson
got it.
and the Inquisitor who arrested your son.
Yeah, that's this guy back
Again?
here. Not again, just once.
The first time.
The only time.
Thank you.
Then why do I hear multiple arrests?
Well, no, he was
Both
the
your
one who
children have been arrested.
Yeah,
Ironically, both by the same Inquisitor.
that's
Okay.
news.
And as the music begins to play, Ravelin, you begin your march.
Well, the Flower Girls and the Maid of Honor would go first. So that would be Shannon and Lily as the Flower Girls, and then Meru as the man/maid of honor.
The Meru of Honor.
Of honor.
And I will be posting in the Wednesday channel Ravelin's dress, because I fully intend for Saronis to swallow his own tongue.
I like
Lily, slow down.
Sorry.
Bring it back about 5 paces. Because
that.
Kamari,
I'm
you're in
sorry,
charge
I like
of Shannon.
her way of thinking. But
Oh, we
that's-
don't want to get everyone too far ahead of the game.
Wow.
I gotta see this before the stream does.
Oh, it is definitely stream friendly.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That is a fan.
Linus turns and looks, and his jaw hits the ground.
As intended.
Just
as
so
the
the
music
stream can
plays-
see. Oh man, I gotta say that's a beautiful dress. I'm sorry.
And as the music plays and the march proceeds up,
And then there's the shot of the back.
Now I know where you are. Okay. You are you. But
Oops. Wrong way.
how come I? Oh wait a minute. No.
Yeah, Meru could be wearing that. That's totally appropriate for this. Meru looks like a little elven prince.
I love it. And wow, that dress is just gorgeous. My mom worked at a.
Of course you love it, Tava. It's the same outfit I went on a date with you in.
I just say
That's awkward.
my mom worked at a bridal shop for about 25 years.
Flower Girls.
Yeah,
Flower-
we're supposed to go ahead.
Pay
Well ahead.
You're not supposed to be a mile ahead of the bride.
No,
Sorry.
it's fine.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
How
just
the hell do I see these dresses that you guys?
Oh,
are
in
talking
the
about?
It's in
Wednesday.
the Discord channel.
Yeah.
There's
He's
specifically
not-
a.
Wednesday chat is locked. Wednesday chat is locked. She does not have access.
I'll give her temporary access by editing the channel itself.
Alrighty,
Just
thank
to
you.
add her directly to it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be.
Don't be sorry.
It's okay. We just keep specific things in that channel only for the stream because we post a lot of shenanigans in some of the other text channels.
Yeah. There you go.
As cute as they are, I don't think they need to see pictures of my cat's fluffy butt.
Okay, how do I see it?
You click on Wednesday. You should be able to see a channel called Wednesday, and you just click on that, and you can scroll up to see the stuff.
Okay, Wednesday. There we go.
Read
Okay,
message
that's rather
history is
stunning.
now enabled as well on it.
Yeah, you should be able to see stuff now.
Yes, I see it. And
So-
yes, that's rather stunning.
That is a
And the
gorgeous.
fluffy tail would definitely show.
face.
Tip though.
I like you.
but as the wedding train.
I apologize.
Don't.
DM.
Don't apologize. You have nothing to. Fallen?
Oh.
As a wedding train?
So the wedding train reaches the front. Sorry, in everything
It's-
I've ever seen about a wedding, the flower girls are usually like 10 to 15 paces ahead, dropping
what-
flowers for the bride. I've never seen them do the whole stretch
No,
before the
you're
bride
right.
appears.
Whoop.
But as the train reaches the front, the other person you've heard a bit about, Mama Kaibal, would be this gentleman up here, Father Acacius. An
Okay,
old,
bear with me a minute. Okay.
yeah. He is a very seasoned warhorse from the Church of Kelimvor.
Think Zach if he swung a warhammer instead of a smithing hammer.
He did.
I know. Think if he did it as a profession.
When Rav gets about here, she's gonna nudge her oldest sister, the unmarried one, like, you're the last one, your turn next, kind of thing, because of course she has to.
She just kind of does
It's
the
sibling
she
thing,
does
Yes.
she does the most white bread sibling thing she can possibly do. As you go by, she just kind of sticks her tongue at you with the
Mhm.
Could be worse. I mean, I fell asleep at my sister's wedding.
I'm
Yeah,
shocked.
I've been to a couple of weddings, and honestly, they were beautiful, but I was bored.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wasn't.
I love weddings. I've been to
I had to walk my own mother down the aisle for one of her exes. I hated every second of it because I knew it wouldn't last.
That must have been awkward.
I wasn't during either of my kids' weddings. It was entertaining.
And as the party, or as the wedding train gathers, and Saronis now stands next to his bride-to-be, Acacius would cough a moment, wait for the crowd to settle down a little bit, before his voice would simply begin to boom.
Ah, thaumaturgy.
We come here today to join these two and officially unite their roads that they have traveled so long together. I have watched these two grow from greenhorns and wild children into respectable inquisitors. Their reason sound and their hearts true. It is my pleasure now to make those hearts one. Saronis, will you have this woman to be thy wedded wife? To live together, to love them, comfort them, honor and keep them in sickness and in health, forsaking all others to keep them as long as you both shall live.
Didn't think
I'm
it.
pretty sure you finished that. They're fallen.
Say that again?
Alright, cut out at the
Oh.
end.
Do you?
Do you?
I do.
Ravelin, will you have this man to be thy wedded husband, to live together? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and health, forsaking all others as long as you both live?
I do.
Then, in the name of Kelemvor, I unite you, both in this world and the next. Under his eyes you shall grow and prosper, and your dreams will become fruitful. And when that day comes, a place will await each of you side by side. You may now kiss the...
God, jeez, Fallen! Ow!
Not sure if that was deliberate or not.
Sona steps forward, dips her ab, and kisses her.
Fallen, are you alive?
I think you missed something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that noise was deliberate.
yeah.
I didn't hear an extra noise.
Yeah.
Oh,
Scream out in pain.
Saronis?
Is it bad
No, I
that
didn't
I'm
hear it.
sitting there getting ready to grab the kids and run?
nope.
Well, Saronis, you and Rav are now covered in blood.
What?
Now you hear Ravlin go, Mom, I'm sorry. Because your mom is no doubt horrified at the fact that all of her work is now ruined.
As Acacia simply lifts off the ground as blood is coming out of his chest and is literally thrown into the wall.
I
Oh,
have a
boy.
bad feeling about this.
What do I roll? What?
Kamari whips around, looks at Avo and Zero, who actually, and Yog, for that matter. Just inside your shirt collar, there's a little tab. Pull it. Looks to Meru. Saronis says the same thing.
I whip around to Mama and Vault. Do me a favor. Get everyone who doesn't fight out of here now.
As you turn around, Saronis, Vald is already standing up with his cane, like suddenly a warhammer, as the Inquisitor gets up, pulling his sword to step into the aisle, and Val has a pair of daggers in hand.
I'm going for
Get Ravelin's family out, please.
I'm going for Acacius.
Yeah, I'm running.
As well as
Now,
the half.
one thing, everyone, give me a wisdom save.
Before I do, I'm going to pull that thing.
Well, no. Give me a wisdom save at disadvantage.
I hate you so much.
Okay, I'm
11.
gonna go with you because I don't know how to
11.
make this stupid game work.
No. Don't worry. You don't have to make one.
I got a 10.
Does my preliminary one
Eight.
work?
You get to re-roll it because technically you won that roll.
Really?
Yeah, a
That
crit is
Eyeball, not me. I'm a crit succeed.
Re-roll it on the one.
because you have disadvantage. A crit is considered a nat 1 right now.
You're looking at the wrong person. Please scroll up.
Yeah,
No, I
I
am looking
see
at
it,
you.
Meru. Listen to what the GM's telling you. Re-roll
Meru,
the damn save.
I'm talking about the nat 1. I know you're saying reroll Fallen.
What?
Oh,
I
no.
didn't nat 1.
Yes, but what we're saying is right now, due to the circumstance, a nat 20
Okay.
is considered a nat 1.
And there you go. You got your nat 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
You should have made that clear, Fallen, that a nat 20 counts as a nat 1 at disadvantage.
Well, remember, this
you had to
roll
say.
is. Well, I told you that 3 times and
Yeah,
you didn't
it's-
listen.
It's fine. Moving
No,
on.
Said
Moving
you
on.
just
Moving
kept
on.
saying a nat 1, you didn't explain why.
All right. Moving on.
All right. So Saronis, Kamari, Ravelin, Zero, Tavo, and Meru all managed to actually fail this.
We have expertise in perception, the skill, not so much the wisdom save.
One time, I am so glad Kamari is not street smart.
I mean, even if you had rolled a nat 1, the secondary roll wasn't much better.
Right, please.
Wisdom is not Kamari's strong suit.
What
All right,
Please tell
moving
me
on.
everybody sees this.
What the
Oh.
party sees, standing on top of the altar that Acacius was recently standing behind, is this.
Hi, new friend.
That's the thing. That was the thing in the window. The thing. Oh,
Zero goes from panic to anger in a flash. Good.
Get everyone out of here now. As soon as just like rips the tab.
Yeah, I'm ripping my tab and
Yep.
and going full Angel mode immediately.
And I believe we have to roll for initiative first there, Tavo.
Yep.
You saw what I linked you, Saronis?
Yes.
Hold on, before you roll initiative. I had to clear the old initiative, so Tavo, you're going to have to reroll.
Yeah.
Really sorry. You had to beat me again.
I'm sorry, we both have like super high initiative.
Sorry, what's
Easies, brother.
I mean,
It's like,
Kamari goes
what was
first.
your
Regardless.
thing? I have a +9.
I'm a +10.
Yeah, I was the one that got the higher
Look,
base.
I go last. Stuff it.
Has everybody rolled?
Yog now is rolled.
Doesn't
Yog,
Have
No, Yog rolls.
initiative, and yeah, she does have initiative. I forgot about that. The advantage. Okay,
Yeah.
I still go last. There we go.
I keep forgetting to put her advantage thing on there.
Doesn't Kamari go first because of it's not 20?
What was that question?
Doesn't Kamari go first because of a nat 20?
No. No means she will beat anybody else in that initiative.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
If a nat 20 on the initiative roll means she beats anyone else of
Oh.
the same initiative. So, if anyone
ti-
else is rolled a
ties
24,
ties go to her. Got it. All right. Sorry.
yeah. But Meru just straight up rolled higher than her.
Okay. I was unclear. All right. Let's get to battle.
But this is actually where we're going to end the session.
Are you kidding me?
As
Apparently-
Acacius bleeds and this figure stands tall, looking down at the two of you with a cruel smile on its face and blood dripping off the blade.
You rat. I love you, but I hate you at the same time. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in for tonight. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you next week.
I like the DM.
Yeah, me too.